Hello, this is Plume Silver. I'm just going to do a really quick update on this person that his name is Kerry Lemieux, and it's after I watched the Rebel News last night. All right, on this show, the Rebel News, it was an exclusive former friend weigh in on world's most infamous shop teacher. And this guy, he was wearing, I guess you can't really see it in there in the photos, but you're gonna have, I'm gonna put the video link of this one. And this friend there of his, it's this woman, and she's there. She's been sort of seen and photographed, and people kind of forgot about this. But this is all about the mad wokeness idea that people could just decide this, I'm gonna, turn into dress up and this. And this shop guy there, he used to work in shop, cutting wood and everything. He decided to wear these huge, exaggerated breasts. Came up with all kinds of lies, saying it was a disease, and oh my God. Anyway, it went totally viral at one point. Then things went quiet. Then he dressed up as a man again, and now he's been moved or fired. Anyway, you need to listen to the interview. Funny that in this time, this is coming back on the news, and this former friend, which nobody ever was capable to be interviewed, especially Rebel News couldn't do it. Like, it was just like quiet. Nobody could talk about it. It was just like sort of disappear. He was trying to get some attention. I said, I'm going to read on him. And I did the tarot reading 2 years ago. And I decided I'm going to read on this Rebel News last night. Well, the subject here, we see that there's a person here, Nine of Pentacles. The person's very independent, but he's trapped in his thoughts because he's keeping it saying we're not seeing it. He's not exposing it freely. He could release himself from all that, but he's a very independent person. And this in the past was a gift that he gave that people haven't seen yet. He's a bit disappointed. It's just sitting there. It's like, I've been giving this out there, but it's coming back in the news right now, and he's sort of reviving it for some reason. And he waited. Well, because look, he waited to hear the hangman. He waited in time, and now things are turning around. You could see a lot of people reacting towards this wokeness madness, because there was mad, and it had to almost come to this exaggeration. He created some kind of alchemy work by dressing up like this, provoking. And I think that a lot of people think he's just a madman. They kind of look at it as a mad person, but that's not what he did, because it opened up a door to it. In my last reading, you could see that I was seeing that he was doing it for the love of children. The whole confusion, he was creating more confusion and chaos through this whole process. And we had the card of alchemy, and you could just see that there was a master at work in this whole process. And because we got something is turning around, and this is about the world, it's about the world in general, the world that he's observing from his own trapped thoughts that he created, and as the gift is giving. Now, I did this draw here just to see who he was. I said, is this really a madman? I said, I need to see some negative cards. They're not negative. You're seeing is something big. It was about a world, a big change, things he wanted to turn with patience. And I said, okay, I'm going to pull one more card. And I went in the middle of my deck, just like this. I said, is this what kind of a person really he is? Is this like a madman? And I said, I'm going to need to get a card to just confirm his personality. So I got the King of Wands. Well, actually, that used to be my trump card. And he's a magician. What his trump is he's a magician. He uses all kinds of signaling, or how he talks, and it's just his personality. It triggers people into a negative state, and also some people into a total love for him. And these are magicians. They're powerful. Just they're present. That's a man too, and then he's a man too, and dressing it up in the most ridiculous form, and he goes there and he has no fear. And the King of Wands has no fear. He has no fear of he knows how to deal with it, and he knows how to project it, and that's what he's doing. This guy, this is who he is. This is not a person, but he's not, he's holding it from. He could release all this information, but he doesn't. Why? Because he doesn't need to. He needs to be independent. He's like, I'm holding it there. And the Three of Wands is what people are seeing is like we're observing this world right now, but he's making it turn around. This is the timing. At the same time, things are changing now. It's funny because I think that what the world is going towards, like, we looked at it this way, now we're looking at like a different way. It's like, whoa, we're turning our head, like, okay. And people are speaking out more, where everybody was so quiet about it and you couldn't get an interview with him. And and that was the whole purpose. It was to create this chaotic thoughts of what we were seeing, and people are started going, oh, he's just a madman. Maybe he's mentally ill. And he had this friend who now is coming out to talk about it. Funny. I wouldn't even be surprised she's planned in there. Now I don't know. I didn't do a reading on her. I was more interested in his character. But he really disappointed her. But anyway, that's what she says in her interview. And just the way she spoke too, it's almost like there's this naive kind of silliness about her. The way, I don't know if that's true, but if it was a great act, if it isn't. But you could just hear in her way she describes him, and then now that she felt like she was hurt because she believed him. Well, she's describing the people, how they were, like, so silent, the school boards and everything. So this is like alchemy work at its best, because my other draw, you can see I had the alchemy card, and we've had all the cards at the top. You had the emperors, and it was just like, this is a master at work in a silent way. And like, just sit there and wait patiently to make things turn around. This is timed. He's right in the flow of it. He's a master at it. He works in a workshop, and then he cuts woods and things like this, but he dresses up like this to make people think. And he's in the setting of high school, where some of the high school kids were influenced in a very negative way with this whole woke agenda. And, change, because that's when puberty blocking was happening. For him, I think he went into like, I'm going to show something, and he did it in his own creative way, being a shop guy there, and maybe he has a very creative way. This is a very creative card, him. That's a master. That confirmed it to me. We have no negative card here. We have all positive card of a person who's doing something for the world. And there you go. All right. Okay. So worth listening to that Rebel News one, because they're a good news source, but at the same time, you could see they're sometimes a little bit confused, and people avoid meeting. This guy didn't want to talk because there's a reason. He didn't need to do this. That's the master, like, work that he's doing. And I still believe that reading, and I want to stick to that story with Lemieux. All right, hopefully you like this. I had to do it because I pulled those cards last night, and obviously this is all part of the magic of playing with tarot cards. And hopefully you like this, and we'll be moving to other, maybe Grand Tableau very soon. Thank you.